Okay, so we have a bridge problem, and we're given that this A, this height is 10. And we're to find length B. Now, if we visualize this as a quadratic, we can figure out the values using relative positioning. So why don't we define this as 0, 0? This is not the only way of doing it. You could label this as 0, 0 on the left, but let's define this to be the middle. If indeed we define this to be 0, 0 in terms of the graph, this point up here is 10 units up, so we'll call this 0, 10. Now we're given that this bridge has an entire span of 200 units. So if all the way across is 200, you know that halfway is going to be only 100. So this point up here is going to be 100 to the right, and marked on this bridge, we have a height of 60. Because from here, from this height, we're going up by 60 units. So this is great because now we have 2 points on the quadratic, and this should help us. We know the vertex form of a quadratic is y is equals to x, a, x minus b squared plus c. We're not sure about the a value because this bridge might be stretched vertically or even flattened. But we do know the vertex, 0, 10. So we'll leave the a value alone and plug in the vertex, x minus 0 squared plus 10. So it's not really necessary to write 0 here if you don't want to. So you can always just leave it like this, ax squared plus 10. And so what's the next step? We're going to use substitution. Here is our x value, it's 100. Substitute into here. And our y value is 60 over here. So 60 is equals to a. X happens to be 100. And now we simply have an equation with one unknown variable. We're going to make good progress here. 100 times 100. We have 4 zeros, which means 10,000. 60 minus 10 is 50. And we're going to divide both sides by 10,000. So 50 divided by 10,000, if you simplify, is 1 over 200. So this is great. We have the actual equation now. Y is equals to 1 over 200, that's the a value, x squared plus 10. And now that you have the actual equation, we can find every single point on the graph. Now, what is the actual y value? This is some unknown x and unknown y value. The y value happens to be the height. Particularly, it's the same value as b. So all we have to do is to substitute this x value here. Now we know that over here, x is equals to 100. We know that here, x equals 0. So the halfway point would be 50. So you can see that we're counting by 25s. 0, 25, 50, 75, 100. So clearly, x is 75. So we substitute 75 into here to solve for y. So as you can see, we punched in the graph this equation into Desmos. We zoomed in and zoomed out to the proper setting. When x equals 75 into this graph, we can see that the specific height, the b value, is 38.125. Okay, so now it's your turn. A 4-meter wide truck is perfectly centered in a tunnel. How tall can it be before it hits the parabolic ceiling? So a truck is going to hit this corner over here. How tall can the truck be?